Hello and welcome to my little mini series on diet culture can fork off. And this little mini series is all about the mindset prep ready for Misfit Club. So in this first episode, in this mini series, they're only going to be short little episodes, but I'm going to help you prep your mindset ready to go for Misfit Club when we start. And I cannot wait. So this first episode is all about undoing diet culture, because that's what we're all about. We're going to break that yo-yo dieting, that all or nothing thinking, and that does come from diet culture. So first of all, I want you to know that it was never you. Like, you are not the problem. It's not that you can't stick to anything. It's because those plans, that diet culture, those quick fixes were never meant to be sustainable. They were never meant for long term. But what it does create is this belief in yourself that you can't stick to things and you're a failure. And you are not. You are not the problem. You are not the failure. It was those diets that failed you. It was diet culture that failed you. So I want to talk a little bit more about this and why it's important that we undo this narrative, because that's what's been sticking with you for so long. Because diet culture, it didn't just give us like the food rules, saying things were good and bad and off limits. It also gave you a set of beliefs about your worth. It taught you as well that hunger was something to ignore, and not to trust our bodies. The control as well was something that was praised, and shrinking meant that you were a success. Okay, it was that unrealistic beauty standard that was set upon us for so many years, generations this has been going on. So it made you think about the numbers a lot, like your weight, the size you wear, how much or rather how little that you ate, this obsessive behavior. And that's kept you trapped, kept you spinning around in your head for years and years and years. And this is where you go to and from diets, like thinking, I need to control, I need to be disciplined, I need the willpower to be able to do that. But what happens is your body starts to push back. You feel tired, you feel exhausted, you feel miserable. You give up, you binge, and then that's after heavily restricting yourself. And then you rebel, you press the fuck it button, and you feel out of control. But then you were taught that was your fault, to blame yourself, because it meant that you weren't good enough. It meant that you can't stick to anything. It meant that you were a failure. But it wasn't failure at all. That was a human body responding to restriction, because it's not sustainable and it's not what you can do long term. But instead, because of these diet culture rules and what this narrative that has been spinning around your head, it's made you believe that that is what you're meant to be doing. And that meant success, it meant beauty, it meant acceptance. And it's not true. So we're going to be undoing that. So what you need to undo this is mindset work. So it's not another diet or restrictive program or a 6-week shred or whatever it may be. You need to learn to let go of the numbers. And if you've been following me a long time, you know that's exactly what I'm about. It's about reframing and rewiring your mind. Yes, obviously we did some exercise and we're going to be learning about nutrition at the same time. But what it is about learning to trust yourself again, not to obsess about how you look or compare yourself to others. It's about undoing all these rules that diet culture has set in your brain, like calling food good and bad, thinking you had to be perfect, obsessing over have to weighing everything and weigh myself and have to shoot for some numbers to be perfect. That's not what it's about. So we are going to be undoing this. Reframing and rewiring your brain is absolutely key. The best way I describe it is if you imagine that, you're out and about on the countryside, in a walk, and you always see those well-trodden paths. So in your brain, in your mind, those well-trodden paths kind of represent this narrative that you've been telling yourself for years and years and years. And that pathway is strong. It's the neuro pathway in your mind. It's very strong. And so we automatically think these things. We don't even think about them. We don't even challenge them. They're just there. It's just how our brains automatically go to think, because that's what it's been doing for so long. So what we're going to be doing and how we start to reframe this is we're going to step onto that grass. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit more in another episode about exactly what we're going to do to be able to do that in the tools that we use. However, that is the first step, is that we're going to start challenging those thoughts, because the awareness, and once you're aware that this is happening, that's when you can make the changes. And no diet, no plan, no exercise plan is going to do that. You have to do this mindset work, and that's why it's such a big piece in my coaching, and it's why you've got access to this amazing course that I've put together to specifically break yo-yo dieting and all or nothing approach. So this is all what we're doing inside Misfit Club, and like I said, this is a little mindset prep for the beginning. And if you're not part of it yet, that's okay. The link is below with all the info, and you can join. Okay, so you're not going to miss out. And for those of you in already, I can't wait. And in the next episode, I'm going to be talking about rebuilding your relationship with food.